So hey, I'm back again, real quick. So I was gonna like wait to do another video later on after I just made the one, the Donald Trump inauguration. But when I saw the flag behind me, it just reminded me of another vision that I had. So I was like, oh, let me go ahead and do this one because this one was real quick also. But and it had the American flag in it. So, but anyway, in this dream, that's like I was in the field. A lot of my dreams I be in fields, you know what I'm saying? Like my mom, my aunties, there was a lot of prophets, they kind of told me like what that represents when you're in the field, in your dreams. And a lot of, so like I said, I have, in my dreams, I have like I be in a lot of fields. I be like in the two white churches, which is my Uncle D church and my Uncle Red church. And I explain to y'all like how anointed and powerful those buildings is. So I think that's why they're in my visions a lot. And tornadoes. But it's like the tornadoes is like the tornadoes is like, it's like they be running away from me though. You know what I'm saying? So I be having those in particular a lot in my vision. And also this one person, man, you know what I'm saying? This guy, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? This guy, he just like always in my dream. I know this person, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say his name, but I may slip up and say it, but I don't want to say it. But I know this person. I grew up with this person. He just always in my freaking dreams, man. And it's not never really for like nothing. Like if I have like a good spectacular dream, like I don't know how to explain that, but it's like he's not really in those dreams. But if it's like when I see this guy in my dreams, it's like he's just always conniving, sneaky, like manipulating, plotting, you know what I'm saying, type stuff. But I never get harm from him in these dreams, but he be popping up. So yeah, he be popping up. So anyway, I was in this field, and he just came out of nowhere. He was in this field also, and then my sister Lisa was in there, but it was like she was there, then she was just gone, and so he was in there with me. And I remember I'm like walking through, I don't know if it was like corn, sugar cane or what, but it was tall, and I was just walking through it, and he was kind of following. I'm like, man, like Sky always, because I'm always thinking like he's always in my dreams. Like, what you want? Like get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of like just trying to walking with me, following, but we never communicate in the dream. We never talk like how I would maybe talk to other people or whatever. We never talk. So anyway, it's like when I came through the field, like where I guess the end of the crop at started or ended, then it was just straight field. I saw like all these Klansmen. You know what I'm saying? It was just like Klansmen. It was a whole bunch of them, and it was like I was like I kind of got scared, because obviously we know the history of the Klansmen, right? And that's what I was thinking. But before that can enter into my flesh, it just left, and it was like I didn't fear anything, and so. I almost said his name too, boy. So this guy that's always in my dream, he wasn't even there anymore. I was just there by myself. And so it was like they was just looking at me. And I guess the Grand Master, the wizard, whatever he was the only one in red. You know how they got their white suit, they cross, whatever, they white hats, all that stuff. So they always like that, but only had one, and his whole suit was red. But it was like when I walked up to him, they was all standing like in a row, like what I'm saying, like I guess further you can see that way, like it's a straight line, you know what I'm saying. And then the one that was in the very middle, like if it had 100 on this side and 100 on that side, and he was in the middle, you know what I'm saying, of that 100. And I'm just looking at him, and it was like they was telling him to like. They wasn't, like I said, they had their mask on, so I couldn't see their face or their lips or nothing moving. I couldn't even hear them talking. But it's like telepathically, that's what they call. It's like I can hear what they were saying. and it was like they wanted him to. It was almost like if he was getting how can I say it like inaugurated or something. You know what I'm saying? Like he was becoming a new leader or something. And this guy was like, he was so young. It's like he was a kid, but you know he was tall, but it was like he was a kid. And I could see, and so all of a sudden, like I said, I can hear their minds. I can hear what they was thinking. Then I just saw what all of them looked like. I just saw what all of them looked like, and that's how I knew that this guy was young. You know, he was like a young kid, and I could tell that he didn't want to do any of that. He didn't want to do none of that. He didn't want to be hateful. He didn't want to be racist. He didn't want a part of none of that. But it was like he almost didn't have no choice, and it was almost like if they was given a chance, you know, given an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to like you know, to give an opportunity to like let that go. And it's like it was almost like I was in their mind. I can just, like I said, see and just read everything they were saying. And it was almost like if I was there to like, I guess like judge them or something. And I was just there to yeah, like I said, it was almost like if I was there, you know, to judge him. And because the way how we was looking at each other, and the way how I was talking to him through his mind, I was telling him, okay, you know, you don't have to do this, but if you're gonna do it, you know, that's gonna be on you. And it was like he was wanting to come to me, but I could still hear them talking to him telepathically through his mind. You know what I'm saying? We was all speaking through our minds. And it was like he would want to come to me, then he would step back because they was kind of like pulling him back, but pulling him back through his thoughts. And so he ended up not coming you know, with me. So he ended up like, you know, I felt his sorrow. You know what I'm saying? I felt his sorrow. So he didn't end up coming with me. And so all of a sudden, it was like I kind of like descended, bro. It's like I descended into heaven, but I didn't descend into heaven. But it was like I descended, and all of a sudden, I saw like the American flag, like it was like the whole freaking sky. You know what I'm saying? I saw the American flag, bro, but when I saw it, I saw like these eagle or angel wings just like appeared out of nowhere, and the wings was as big as the freaking whole sky. You know what I'm saying? Some pure white wings. And I remember like me at that point, I was wanting to like get out the dream, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking like, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, because what I saw was so glorified, you know what I'm saying? It was so mesmerized, so amazing, you know, to me. It was like, it was almost like I didn't want America to have that glory, you know what I'm saying? Because of what they've done to my ancestors, you know what I'm saying? And what the system is doing to the people just in general. So I didn't want them to have that glory. So I was trying to like get out of it. You know, I was really trying to wake up out of the dream. Because I didn't, like I said, I didn't want to accept that about America. You know what I'm saying? Because what I thought when I saw that America was the promised land. That America was the most, you know, beautiful land on the planet. That America was God's land. You know what I'm saying? Like America, like this is God's land. You know, America is God's land. You know what I'm saying? And so much blood been shed on this land, especially behind my, you know, for my ancestors. I didn't want to accept that. So it was years later, whenever God revealed what that really meant to me, that American flag part, that just represented us as a so-called, you know what I'm saying, African Americans. Like, this is our land, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are the true indigenous people of this land. You know, I used to put this post up what they used to call us. We went from Indian, Israelite, Hebrew, uh, uh, Negro, colored, black, Afro, African American, and then now it's turning back around to where we, it's a cycle to where now we're going from, because 10 years ago we was a lot of us claiming Israelites. Now that the truth been coming out, we all claiming back our Indian heritage. And so my mother, grandmother used to always tell us, yeah, y'all grandmother, great grandmother, they was Indians, they was Indians. You say Indians, it was the Indians. So I hear a lot of people, so-called African American, that's waking up and saying like, yeah, y'all know y'all grandmother used to always say that, and that's a true saying, bro. They always say that, but we never even knew. But it was years later, that's what he was showing me. You know what I'm saying? So I really believe that America is the promised land. You know what I'm saying? I believe that, we are the true, I ain't no believing about that. I know that we are God's people. I know that we are the chosen seed. I know that we are the apple of his eye. I just know that. You know what I'm saying? But to put a ethnicity on it, that's whenever the part when I say I believe that, we are the true Indians, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But just to bypass all that for, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be getting flagged over something that, because you get flagged over anything over YouTube these days, man. So censored. So, but if I just say chosen, and indigenous, it's like, it's like who's claiming to be chosen and indigenous? Obviously we are, because that's just who he is. So I don't think that, you really get flags for that. But, again, you got to stop. You got to stop. You got to speak the truth, man. It's the truth gonna come out. You got to speak it. So, yeah. Again, look, I'm saying I was supposed to stop on freaking 7 minutes. I'm already at 12. Just got to go with the flow, man. Got to go with the flow. So, yeah, that was another dream that I had. I got a notebook that I went write all kinds of freaking dreams down, and I already got I stopped at 15. I stopped at 18. No, I stopped at 15. Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm going to start with that. I'm going to go with that first and then see how God going to riff that up. So, anyway, but I got way more than that. So, but yeah, it's like, it's so many messages that was in that one vision. You know what I'm saying? It was, it's like I could even go further and talk about, about the Klansmen, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So this really kind of goes down in they little regime, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying, that they got going. You got some of them that really don't be wanting to rock with that. That's what God was showing me. But since they just embedded, they don't come out of it. And so, but yeah, I believe that, this is, America is the old land, America is, Atlantis, all that stuff, other videos to explain all that stuff. But I really believe that, we are the chosen people. And I know that we the chosen people. And like I always tell people, I'm gonna put this in the other videos also, but I believe that black people still run the world. You know what I'm saying? I believe that we never even lost power. I believe our own people gave us up. You know what I'm saying? Like our evil people, the evil black people gave us up. The righteous people, you know what I'm saying, to a regime, you know what I'm saying, to a system, to the people who you may think, whoever you call run the world. You know what I'm saying? And then they took it and ran with it, man. But I believe that the so-called black people, the evil side of us, run the world and calls the shots. But the deal was, you know what I'm saying? When I used to be out there in that world that I couldn't be, when I used to be out there in that world trying to be something that I wasn't, when I was selling drugs, it was like I knew people would come get it from me, but they couldn't get it from the guy who I was getting it from. And then I couldn't get it from that guy who he was getting from. And then who he was getting from, I just never even knew who the hell that guy was. So that's like the same thing with the so-called black people that's ruling the world. It's like they ruling it, but yet they got the European who we see getting it, but yet you got the, you know, the who's, you know what I'm saying, they above those people, you know, but the big fish is the so-called black people, the evil side of us. So you just gotta just do some research and understand, you know, black mobility. You can look at people so many you know, different ethnic groups is putting those videos out to where you can see who those people really is, and they really is ruling the world. They actually rule, you know, there's ruler of Spain, all that stuff. But yeah, so I really wasn't trying to put all that in this video, my God. But anyway, again, you know, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, you know, leave a comment. But again, I don't know where I'm going with these videos. I'm just on here talking about my visions, and then I just, you know, keep on going. You know, I just keep on going with it until I just feel like that was enough. So anyway, catch y'all on the next one. Hallelujah.